Now, it had a lot to do with Iraq, but it had a lot to do with my childhood as well. I felt like I didn't have a family, no one would care for me. I remember my mom being a stripper. I remember her bringing guys home all the time. I remember living in hotel rooms or motel rooms. I remember her always telling me to be a man and stop crying when I was 8 years old. And I remember all this stuff. And it was just all those memories coming in at one time on how rough my life was and how being raised with her was so horrible, and then doing Iraq. And then, so it all led to my suicide attempt.
Felt like I was not normal anymore. I felt like I was weird. I was opposite from everybody.
What I felt was I felt like I was a burden on everybody's lives. Anyone close to me, I was always angry. I was always yelling. I felt like I was just in the way of other people's lives. I felt like I was the Debbie Downer of the room.
Well, after my suicide attempt, I woke up and I heard something from someone that I needed to hear, and no one knew how to say it to me. But my brother, who is also an Army veteran of the Afghanistan war, got on the phone with me, and he gave me permission to feel. He gave me permission. He made me feel like I wasn't weak for having the feelings that I had. Once I finally let them out and understood that they were going to be there, my whole life just changed around. There's always the people that want to prevent suicides. There's a lot of good people out there. But what I'm doing is I'm taking my personal experience of a suicide attempt and I'm speaking to the audience. You know, just now after the speech, I had a lot of guys come up to me, and you know, a lot of them were really touched by what I said because they know personally that they've experienced it. I take my couch, take a seat, and I put this knife on this table. The biggest thing is not to be ashamed. You know, it's not something to be ashamed by. We're human beings. We suffer from the same things that everybody else does, and it's okay to get help. The main message is that there is a moment where you can find that light, and it's not permanent, but the only way to solve the problem is to actually seek the help and to speak about it. If you do not face your demons, they will eat at you and they will take over. I attempted suicide is because I felt alone. I felt weak for feeling the way that I did.
O'Brien says his best therapy is sharing his story, and he's doing it at military installations across the country.
A theater full of 500 soldiers that I just tried to kill myself because of this, and this. You know, tell them how I was feeling and everything. And by doing that, what I'm doing is I'm opening that door to say, stop being embarrassed by it. You know, certain people have more issues than others, but I kill a stigma on both sides. And the biggest thing is I show them that I'm vulnerable because, you know what, I'm still alive.
It's like you're holding onto a cliff, and you're holding there, you only have one arm, and you're holding for as long as you can, and then muscle failure kicks in, and it's so close to you not being able to hold on anymore. And what it takes is to have someone show up and pick you up and get you off of that cliff.
Pedro Amador, Camp Casey, Korea.
Say daddy.
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 Daddy.